John was telling me that he's a fucking hotshot salesman who sells fucking solar panels, dude.
When you were talking about that,
you sell them.
I don't sell them.
You sell people on the idea of solar panels.
No, I sell people on the savings of solar panels.
And the savings of solar panels. Yeah. So what you're selling is.
So what I tell them is you're paying. Thank you, George. Oh, look at that.
So, but isn't that selling solar panels? I'm sorry, like, isn't that so in itself saying this is why you should get solar panels? Absolutely. Because they save you money.
Well, here's the thing. People don't actually like.
Are you out here cold calling motherfuckers, bro?
No. So what it actually is so New Jersey is trying. It's a literal mandate for it's called New Jersey Clean Energy Act, right? So they want to get more clean energy on the grid, on the fucking in the world, because this shit's killing us, and nobody has no idea about how expensive it is at first. So.
It's not as easy as it sounds.
No, it's really not. Like getting on the phone with people and like having people like this is simple because you can talk to people when you're face to face. You know what I'm saying? But when you're over the phone, people hang up on you. It's a different kind of power. Yeah. So when I get on, I basically try to explain that, try to take them away from that thought of buying solar, because you can buy the system, of course. You can rent the system, sure. You can do anything else with the system. There's a bunch of programs. So there's a program that involves net metering. Net metering is basically you providing. So the solar panels on the home right there, you don't pay for those. Okay, you pay for the power it's producing. When you overproduce, here's net metering. It's building a bank in your meter. So now let's say, when you usually get installed, there's a graph somewhere over here. Hold on. So if you go to about. So basically, I don't know if it's on here, but anyway, we show it in the home. It's probably on my system. It's definitely not on here.
They have those at the back of Central Regional High School.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you're just. It's like so hard. It's so weird to like explain professionally to people.
No, just do it.
Like so. You basically just pay for the power you're producing when you overproduce the power that month. So let's say you produce 70 kilowatts of your solar panels, but you're only made to use 50. You take 20 kilowatts, you put that back in your bank. That's money now. So now you do that. You call your solar company. You make a deal. Then you now sell yours. Now you're selling your energy back to your company, back to the company for money that now you can use to pay your electric bill. Let's say you get a $150 electric bill. You sell back 20 credits. You sell the 20 kilowatts, right? That's money now. So now that 20 kilowatts can be $50. Now that $150 thing is $100.
We're dealing with.
So like. Exactly. So
smart young man here.
So when you go into solar in the winter months, you're using less power, but your system is producing more energy. So now when you go to the summertime, when you're using your pool, your AC, you're having parties, your lights are on, it's out, it's fucking light on until 9:00, and you're up. You know what I'm saying? You're using, that's a $220 electric bill right there. That's a $300 electric bill.
It's crazy you bring that up, because I was actually going to ask you how solar panels would change those nuances. Like say I got my PlayStation 5 on rest mode all day, and I got a beer fridge right next to that, and that's constantly going. So does that change with solar panels?
Absolutely. So basically, one, it's more efficient. It's much more efficient than normal than the coal burning, the fossil fuels, because it's got to go from fossil fuels through all these power lines, through all this transfer to your pole, and then all the way here. And now there's so much that is decreasing that efficiency. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you're running a sprint. You know what I'm saying? You're only running for 100 meters compared to someone who's running fucking 400 meters. They're going to be so much more exhausted. That's the same thing. They're running a 400 to get here. So that is absolutely affected. That's why you have a lower, that's why you have a low rate. JCP&L is like a 14, 15, 16 or something like that % hour. We get them down to like 10, 11, which doesn't seem huge, but over 30 years and 25 years, that 14 becomes 24. That 11, that stays 11. So now what actually made me fall in love with my job 2 months into working was someone made an appointment, I made an appointment, whatever the case was an appointment. The lady signed up. She was poor. She just barely passed credit. Basically like poverty. That's a lot of people we help. Like she was saving like 60,000, 50,000, 70,000, something like that over a span of 30 years. That's a brand new Audi. That's a brand new luxury vehicle, just to like put it in a, like materialistic terms. But like that saved a lot for that woman. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I was like, oh my god, this is real.
That's a really good way to put it in perspective.
Yeah, and that's where getting
to compare it to something
right
that you can measure in like units.
Right, because people are
Like for the layman, like a car.
right, because people don't care about the freaking ozone. In reality, a lot of people don't give a shit about that.
It looks a lot different when you attach it to something. Like the number looks a lot more different
Right.
when you attach it to something like a MacBook or
Right.
you know, like a fucking new fridge.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's where it's difficult over the phone, but like going into the home is a lot easier because we show them that number. We're complete, dude. We're not. Why would we be scared to show someone that number? Sure, we'll show someone else's. You know what I'm saying? That's where it gets a lot easier because in the home, that's where people are like, oh.
They can be more receptive instead of hanging up on you.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
no, you'd be surprised, dude. We set appointments. People go to the door like, oh, we don't want it, and then we're like, so my girlfriend's mom is incredible. She's incredible. It's not about not telling this woman no. It's just about how good she is at explaining and like talking to people, and like she's so personable. And multiple times people will be like, no, get out, no. She's like, look, I'm already here. I came all this way. You're here. It'll take me literally 20 minutes. And then they're like, F it. And then they go and they sit down. They're like, oh, now we're talking. Once she's like, look at that $80 transfer fee that's gone. Now your $150 electric bill looks like $70.
Yeah.
Already.
That's great.
That's not even.
And that makes such a huge difference.
Yeah, people are like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then they're like, that's where it gets beautiful.
What does it do for your company though when you go into someone's house and you tell them like you're going to just install it for free? Like how is the company getting money back from that?
So we get compensated. So we're with Sunrun, which is the biggest solar company in the country right now. They bought out, I think it's like something else. They bought out something else, but they're the number one residential solar panel provider.
I want to get more into that because I was thinking about, you know, different types of companies that are actually now getting into that sort of clean energy packed, like take Tesla for example. Like, how do you guys plan to compete with a company that puts out
Easy. Their
a
shingles.
product
So
of that quality
they have two things.
and at that rate?
Their regular panels probably fly off the shelves, but their solar shingles are not. They're not perfect. So it's not about us.
Solar shingles.
Yeah. So basically, it literally looks like shingles. They don't install actual shingles on the home. It's called a solar roof, and that's what it looks like. So it looks really cool. So I mean, I think
it looks amazing.
I think it looks like one of those, you know, like those netted things that you lay down and tan on. You know what I'm talking about? Like some girls do those.
Yeah.
I think it looks so cool.
So it's like tiling for your roof that powers the home.
Right. So, but here's the thing.
It's brilliant.
Since it's so close, it absolutely is. But since it's so thin and so close, there's so much energy, there's so much heat, there's so much friction that it causes fires.
And does it protect the home?
No. They're just regular shingles.
They're not strong, really.
No, they're very flammable, and they also cost double, and they produce half the power of a regular solar panel.
What makes them so much more flammable?
Because they're so thin, they're so close, and since it's wood and all that stuff, that all conducts heat.
Okay.
So that's gonna rub, and all these components when it snows or dirt, dust, all this other crap, that's gonna rub up against, like, you know what I'm saying? If you took the chip out of an iPad, out of anything, and you rub it up against it's heat, it's gonna create friction, it's gonna create some kind of spark. That's the exact same thing, and it's true when people, like, when I get on the phone, people are like, I don't want it because it causes fires and the fire department can't get it off. It's a fact. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the fire chief in our development, he has solar panels on, but like, it's absolute fact. Like, solar panels on a home can cause fires, but I mean, listen, shit happens. That's why you have insurance and like that stuff. But I don't know. I think it's more natural to go with that until they would, you know,